Have you ever been to a large event? Something like perhaps a pop festival or a sports match? There are hundreds and thousands of people there, and you're just a face in the crowd, looking out at these hundreds and thousands of people. And the Talmud tells us something very interesting about such a scenario, that when one sees a gathering of 600,000 Jews or more, one has to recite a blessing. And that blessing is, we thank God, we speak of God as being the King of the universe, and we refer to him as Chacham Harazim, the one who is wise and knows secrets. Now there seems to be a disconnect here. What does the wording of that blessing have to do with the fact that you are amidst an enormous crowd? God is the knower of secrets? Maybe it should say that God is the creator of all things, that God created all of the people who are here. What does this blessing mean? And perhaps to understand it, we have to look at an unusual description of God that appears in this week's Parsha, in Parshat Pinchas. When Moshe learns that his demise is near, he turns to God and he says, God, I cannot go without first appointing a successor. God, please appoint a successor. It should be somebody that goes out to battle with the Jewish people, who goes ahead of them, who brings them back, somebody who has personal merits and integrity. And when Moses speaks to God, he describes him as Elokei haruchot lechol basar. You are the God of all flesh, of the spirits of all flesh. This is not the first time that we've seen this expression. We saw it previously in Parshat Korach. When God said that he was going to destroy Korach and his rebellious crowd, Moshe and Aaron fell down upon their faces and said a similar terminology. O God, who is the God of the spirits of all men, please do not become angry and punish innocent people. What is the meaning of this? Elokei haruchot lechol basar. You are the God of the spirits of all flesh. And our sages explain as follows. We human beings, when we see many people, we just see a mass of people, faceless people. But when God looks upon them, he is the Elokei haruchot lechol basar. He is the one who understands everybody, who sees into their mind, who understands their personality. Each person is an individual. And that's what Moshe and Aaron were saying to God when God was about to destroy so many innocent people. They said, God, you are the God of the spirits of all flesh. You know what is in everybody's heart. You cannot destroy innocent people with the guilty. Punish only the guilty, which is ultimately what happened. The same thing in this week's Parsha. When Hashem is requested by Moshe to appoint a leader, Moshe says, you are the God of the spirits of all flesh. I want you to appoint such a person who can deal with different people's personalities. It's one thing to have a leader who just tells people to do exactly what he does, to say exactly what he says, to think exactly what he thinks. That's not a real leader. Those aren't real followers. But God appoints somebody who knows how to work with different personalities. In any gathering, in any community, in any congregation, there are people who are go-getters. There are the grumblers. There are people who say nothing. There are people who are always difficult. You have to know how to work with each and every person, to harness their strengths, to understand their weaknesses. You're not going to change them. And Moshe says to God, that's the type of leader that I want to take my place. And indeed, it was Yehoshua who took his place. Ish asher ruach bo. Hashem says to Moshe, appoint Joshua because he has that ability. He is a leader who can deal with each and every person's personality, which is an incredible ability for a leader. Now this brings us back to the blessing. When we see a mass gathering of 600,000 Jewish people or more, we say, God, you are the Chacham Harazim. You are the one who knows secrets. We just see a faceless mob. We just see a massive crowd. But you, God, you see into their hearts. You see into their minds. You are the knower of secrets. And that's the reason behind this blessing. So perhaps the next time we are privileged to see a mass gathering, we should keep in mind that each and every person here is different. As the Talmud says, just as their appearance, just as their faces are different, so too their minds are different. That way of Jewish leadership is not just to lead people and to get them to do what you want, but to understand their strengths and their weaknesses. I wish you a Shabbat Shalom.